Yeah, no, it's a great basketball game. It's a great basketball game for our fans and our supporters and our families. You know, the message I gave to the team though was, you know, we don't believe in moral victories. But the other side of that is that if that is the team that comes out to play on a more consistent basis, I'm very confident we're going to win a lot of games moving forward. The hard part is it's easy to get gassed up and juiced up when you know you're going against a team like that. All right, and that is a very, very good basketball team. I thought both teams, both coaching staffs did a phenomenal job making adjustments. There was some chess match moves made by both, and both reacted. And more importantly, what people come to see, and that's the players. Players made plays. Players made plays. And at the end of the day, both teams played really, really well. I thought both teams were worthy of winning. And the reality is they just made a couple more plays than us.
Talk about that after that huge three-pointer from the corner with Morgan and 30 seconds to go. Now it's a one-possession game. It's 110-108. You get that timeout. Talk about the options you went over and you know, for defense for that last 30 seconds. You know, you had a 2-second differential to shot clock, and did you give any consideration to maybe fouling immediately and trying to stack possessions, or?
No, we elected not to go that route, partly because of the timeout situation we were in. You know, we only had one. So that was a big reason. You know, I've kind of got my rules in the back of my head that our staff has kind of created and built and statistically looked at and done our homework on. And I thought for, you know, a Glenville State team to take 30 seconds off was going to be a long shot. So I assumed we were going to get another play with an opportunity to hopefully take a lead after a stop, and then we just don't get the stop. You know, the reality is the kid made another good play, you know, and in that moment when you're sitting there and as a staff and as a team, we've got to just rely on defense, and we've got to play the math of it, because with only one timeout, it's too much to overcome if you start playing that game, because now you're relying solely on doing everything on the fly. You've got to do everything perfectly right. So that's the logic behind that.
Makes sense. And just, you know, so many contributors today. You know, obviously everybody sees Morgan with 33 points and just the unconscious shooting, but you know, Audrey with all the numbers, and just seemed like there was two ever on the floor all the time. Liv hitting big shots. Taylor, I mean, and good contributions from the new kids off the bench against a pretty high-pressure, very talented team.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things I'll take from this is that I don't think at one point I saw a team that's struggled dealing with the moment. And for a team that, yes, we are whatever, we're now, what, 14 games into this year, so freshmen aren't freshmen anymore, you could say. But let's not forget that there's a lot of kids coming in this year that, while we are a developmental program, still haven't played high minutes in games, especially big games like this. So I think that one of the growth points for our program across these 14 games that we're starting to see is our ability to deal with sudden change, where the highs and the lows are dealt with better. You know, when we're on a high, we manage to not get too high. When we're on a low, like when they make a run, all of a sudden the world's not ending like it once was early in the year. And that's the sign of a team that's starting to get it. It really, really is. Now, the thing that we got to do a little bit better job of is collectively we have to understand, and I preached this to them before the game, and there were moments we didn't execute it well enough. If you're going to be wrong in a game like this, which is going to happen a lot, okay, you're going to blow a coverage. We're not going to communicate well. Somebody's going to get a look that they shouldn't get. Someone's going to get mismatched. You have to be wrong in the most right way possible, as crazy as that sounds. So yes, there are mismatches. Yes, Stoller gets switched on to other people because we're switching screens. But when you do that, the best thing you can do is be wrong less, meaning you can't give that kid threes, because that is the difference down the stretch. She hit some big shots, and we all know that when she gets going, she can get going. And we kept her bottled up for a long time. And then just a couple little errors, and all of a sudden she's not so bottled up, and she starts feeling herself. And the tough part about that kid is that not only is she a streaky kid that can get going, but then she starts feeling herself sharing the ball. So all of a sudden she's making, you know, tough passes, which she made a great one to her sister in the corner for a three that was a huge three. That's a kid that doesn't usually make that play, that makes that play, and she made a nice dump off that got them a second chance opportunity. So, but back to your original question, we got tremendous lift. And I think that what you're seeing is some kids starting to get some things that they once struggled with. Like, I thought Olivia played unbelievably well, dealt with some foul trouble that we had to manage a little bit, but she handled it well. And that's on both sides of the basketball, and she was highly efficient, but she was highly efficient because she took the right kind of shots for Olivia, much like you see the efficiency down the way with other players. So I'm very pleased. And yes, our quote-unquote stars, as people reference them, they do go off the charts here again statistically, but the other kids gave us a good look on both ends. So I'm very proud of them.
And last one for me, kind of a rough stretch of the schedule. It's the trip down to Concord, coming back off the break, and here you got Glenville, and now you got Fairmont.
Yeah, I mean, the changes we made in the league weren't too kind to the travel partners for any of us. I don't think if you asked any head coach in the league that's not Concord or Glenville if you really want to play those two right now back to back, I don't know who would answer yes. But no, I mean, it is what it is. We've gotten through it. The problem is we're in a little bit of a hole in conference. But again, I don't look at that stuff. I look at what's in front of us, and what's in front of us is today we went 0-1. We're going to feel for that. We're going to learn from it, but we're going to do it collectively and together as a family. And then we're going to get ready for Saturday, and we're going to try to go 1-0 Saturday. You start looking at the big picture stuff, you lose sight of what's right in front of you.
Just want to talk about that third quarter real quick. Is that as good of an offensive performance as you've seen in 10 minutes alone? I mean, putting up 41 points. Yeah,
I mean, that's darn good. I would have, I guess, preferred maybe take that one to 35 and bumped up the other ones if I had a choice. But the reality is no, that's off the charts. That's off the charts. And I think it shows, again, we always talk about it, growth. For a long time over the last 2 years plus, we've talked about slow starts in the third quarter. Well, we put that to bed tonight. We put that to bed, which is nice to see. But yeah, we were highly efficient, but we were highly efficient, and I don't know the breakdown, but I would assume that we were highly efficient in that quarter with the way we shared the basketball.
And it just seems like anytime Glenville, you guys play, like last year, like just this game this year, you guys find yourself in a hole, like double-digit deficit. You guys find a way to come back, and then yet again they like make a big play to basically I can't think of the word right now, but like basically deny a comeback for you guys. I mean,
yeah, I agree, and I don't know which time you're referencing last year.
Like,
I think we had to see Kim. What was it? We played him eight times last year.
Felt like it, yeah.
I think it was like 3 out of 4 games. It seemed like you guys were in a big hole.
Yeah.
To make a comeback. And
yeah, and I think today what you saw was not only we made the comeback after being down whatever it was 7 going into the half.
Yeah.
But then we took it to another level by gaining the lead. Yes. But then, like good teams do that are well coached, that have talented players, they make a couple big plays. You know, a huge play in the game is we build that lead. She calls a timeout, and then she draws a play up, and a player makes a play. Yeah. Okay, like those are the moments that people don't see in a game that all of a sudden end a drought, and now they're not feeling so sorry for themselves. You know, we're in the timeout going, this is the biggest play of the game. We've got to be disciplined. We've got to be detailed. And there were multiple moments of that this game, just like they were for her. She's going, this is the biggest game of the play. We've got to execute this right here. Well, one team's going to be right and one team's going to be wrong. Like, that's just the nature of the game, you know?
I'm good.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks so much.